Hey, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another music production live stream with me, Human Synthetics. Hope you're doing well. .808 diffraction. How are we doing? Hey, Future World Machines? Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good. I like it best when I've got like a clear plan, or I like it when I've got a clear plan of what I want to try and do on a live stream. Mainly for my anxiety, it can be quite anxiety inducing if I'm just raw dogging it and I don't necessarily have a plan. But then I don't like things to be too fixed either, so I like to keep things nice and fast and loose. Really, I think I get better results when I do that. But this evening we're going to be doing some breakwork stuff. We're not necessarily going to be chopping breaks, but we're going to be resequencing them and processing them and sampling them and organising them and, yeah, having fun with just breakbeats. So it's probably going to be a lot of drums this evening. Lake Town. Yeah, thank you. I like to chop and change between having a plan sometimes and then also just seeing what happens. I think it's good to have that kind of balance, but I've done some preparation for this evening. So one thing about working with samples, particularly like funk breaks, is that I just get copyright. The VOD just gets copyright struck, or I just get copyright sections and it's not available to view in certain territories and stuff like that. So I've done some preparation, so I've got all the chops and stuff. You wouldn't be able to tell where they've come from. Yep, got everything open, ready to go. But before we get started, I'm just going to do a shout out and welcome to my newest patrons, and to thanks to all my supporters who support me in the channel by making a small donation on Patreon every month. In return for that, I like to give a little shout out on stream when people sign up. So I've got a few names to read out this evening. Just seeing where I've got up to. So we've got Spud Tater. Thanks very much, Spud Tater, if you support on Patreon. Leighton Crib. Thank you for your support on Patreon. TaylorMade. Simon Dempsey, and I think we're back to Jan Ola Corte, who was the last name I read out last week. So thank you very much to all my supporters on Patreon. If you're interested in all that stuff, you can find the links in the usual places. Have a look at the feed, see if there's anything on there that you're interested in, and if you are, why not consider pledging and supporting. There's lots of good downloads on there, pure breaks, and everything else comes as part of the lowest tier, so check it out. Okay. So yeah, we've got Ableton open here. I've got Audio Finder open, and I've got Twisted Wave for sampling. I've also got this Google Doc, which is probably a good intro. So you may or may not be aware that I'm working on another sample pack, again with grooving in G. And this one's working title is Mutant Breaks, but essentially it's going to be just breakbeat focused, completely breakbeat focused, and the idea that it's all built, all the breaks are built from scratch. They're new things that I've made myself. This is something I've wanted to do for a while, and working with someone else just is really good for keeping me accountable and actually realising it. So it's a bit like releasing music or anything like that, you know, with an external deadline, with someone else involved. Particularly when it comes to releasing or actually getting something over the line, it really helps to work in partnership. A few years back I wouldn't have said that, and I would have believed that I could do it all myself, but actually it's a lot easier when there's someone else working on it with you. You know, you can share ideas and just motivate each other to carry on. So yeah, we're doing a breaks only pack, and it's going to be called Mutant Breaks, and we're thinking of having 2 kind of folders in it. One for like more origin style breaks, so stuff that is less mutated, you could say, and then Mutant Breaks, which will be more processed, more kind of weird sound designer stuff, but hopefully useful for any kind of breakbeat based music, you know, jungle, drum and bass, breaks, breakbeat stuff. So I've done a bit of this on stream before, and we're just going to carry on with it this evening, and then I'll kind of show you through some of the breaks that I've been working on, the things I've made and everything. And really my process is just kind of trawling through all of the samples that I have on my hard drive, all the breakbeat samples that I have from various places, all kind of original sample stuff, original funk breaks, and kind of just chopping them up or taking snippets from lots of different breaks and making like composite new breaks that are completely my own. And I'm hoping that I'll learn something in doing this. I feel pretty confident with like how I like to chop all the kind of classic breaks and stuff using just a single sample. But I've always kind of like the idea of exploring a bit more, making my own from lots of composite parts. I'm not using samples or one shots from any existing sample packs. Obviously it's all from like original source material, so that makes it a bit more painstaking, and there's a lot more experimentation, a lot more failure, you know, when stuff doesn't go quite right, or a lot of learning, but that's the way I knew it would be, and that's what interests me actually, is doing things and exploring new things that I'm unfamiliar with in music. Hey Aaron, yes, hello. So yeah, I've just been scrolling through this document, but essentially taking lots of existing material, source material from my sample library, breakbeats, break samples, drum samples, continuous pieces of audio, you know, sampled from records and stuff, and then chopping it up, finding interesting things in those, processing them in weird and wonderful ways, and then resampling that. And that's what we're going to be doing this evening. So I've actually been working in another live set, but it got too big. There were too many plugins in it. It was just being a bit slow. So I've had to like kind of move over to a fresh set. And yeah, everything that I've got in here at the moment is just like I put together over the last couple of days, that is just pretty much the samples with some processing. You know, it's the chops. I have done some processing on some of them, but I thought I'd leave it like this to show you kind of how I manipulate them further, how I program new patterns, and then how I sample them and label them up and store them, and how I'm rating them as well, so I know what I want to include in the pack in Mutant Breaks. So it's been a mix of working on the timeline and working in MIDI clips and pulling on all the different kind of techniques I like to employ when I'm chopping breaks and trying lots of experimenting, going back to first principles and kind of exploring my method as it is, or like how I like to work. I think it's always really good, you know, if you're struggling with something or there's a particular aspect of music you want to learn, to like really break it down, go back to first principles, go really examine everything you think you know about it, because that's when you're likely to get kind of the breakthroughs happen, is having a bit of an MOT, you could say, or a bit of like a physical on where you're at with any aspect of music. And that's really what I've done here. I've explored like chopping audio in the timeline, working with whole breaks, you know, the entire breakbeat sample and chopping that up, and then working with lots of different breaks in MIDI racks, or some of them across samplers. I've actually gone back to working in a drum rack because it's a lot easier to extract stuff to different channels so I can process it further. Yeah, we'll just jump in and we'll get going, and I'm hoping to get like a load of samples out by the end of this live stream from these free breaks. I'm not going to sample anything new because it just, to avoid copyright. So alright, we'll give it a go. I'll play this first one then. So this is Mutant 10, and this comes from, you'll see where it's come from. So this is sliced up. Okay, yeah. But let's give it a play. So one thing that I've always struggled with is making like rolling kind of liquid breaks, or liquid more like rolling patterns. It's actually really quite hard to do, you know, from programming and just not using an existing loop. So I'm going to work with this one and then like resequence it a bit, and we'll explore some more patterns. But I'll just show you what it's like without any of the processing that I've done so far, which is largely like transient shaping, EQ, compression. I'll just show you some of the plugins I've got, like on this kick, for instance, which is just sampled from this. What's the tune? World Wonders Funky Washing Machine. Yeah, that's the kick isolated. And I'm often going to and from the spectrum just to have a look like where the low end is, you know, because if it's between in this section, that's usually pretty good for kicks. It's quite toppy, this one, but then a lot of like D&B kicks like in are now, or particularly in like modern D&B. Yep, Soothe as well is another plugin that I have on this. And then various EQs. I really love this Curves EQ from Mono, which is a Max for Live device. It's just great on like drums. That's without it. And then another mono device, Compression 54. And the rest of it, I'm kind of experimenting with tape effects and with distortions and all that kind of good stuff. And we'll try and like destroy them a bit. That's where things get interesting. So there's a saturator on that one now. And then I have various reverbs on the set that I can kind of send portions of the break to. So I've got like a room, I've got a Tal Reverb 4 plugin. Tal Reverb 4. It's quite interesting. I was looking through my plugin library and just like chucking on anything. Super Play, more Valhalla stuff. What's that, Valhalla? Valhalla Verb. Hey Mr. Grooves. And then some Paralux effects as well. By Perform module, they're isotonic. You can get those on isotonic. And as well as like all the processing on the actual individual channels, like for the snare and everything like that. So isolate the snare now. You can hear. I'll just turn the A and B between the kick with and without, so you can hear like the original sample. So that's with. Oh, that's not that one. Okay, that's without. I mean, it's almost like quite unrecognisable, really. And then the kick is like, the kick does have a snapback on it, and I've generally avoided using like layering anything using some things like snapback, but I thought I'd just like introduce it at this point. I think it's just like a shaker sample or something on this. That, like a wood hit, it's pretty cool for this type of thing. Then again, like transient shaper, this is Oxford Evolution. I showed you this on the kick a moment ago. That makes quite a big difference. Then to me, EQ, more of the curves. There's no compression on this break, but I did use a clipper on it. Pretty key, like the reverbs. Which I like use in various different amounts to kind of get different spaces and stuff like that. You can like really kind of change the character of the break drastically. So, and then got these kind of shuffles and hats. This is the thing that I think always like makes a huge difference. That's nice on its own, really. But that's going through some like envelope shaping and just a bit of EQ, some soothe. I'm not even using that, but I find this re-enveloper transient shaper is like so. I love this so much. You know, you can get things really tight. Like you can drastically alter the sound of the break. Now, if anything, I think that kick's maybe a bit like football-y. Cool, so I think we've definitely got something we can resample there, and then in fact, like what I'm going to do is I'll move on to the other breaks in a bit because I've got more to work on here. Okay. So I've got that, I can like chop more stuff out of this one. But I'm going to process the bus now. So like that, what is on the break. And there is a bit of a choice between, do you do that on the group, do you do that on the bus, or do you do that on the master channel? Because you've got all these effects on the return channels, and kind of, do you want those to be compressed and everything as part of the, the sample? So that's really like a choice, a consideration I've been making. So I've made I've just saved my favorite effects in a rack for anything that I've been doing. Okay, and I'll just show you what's on these. These always open every single plugin window. One thing that's so annoying on a Mac that it always opens the plugins on a different window. Okay, so what we got on here, we got various utilities, again the re-enveloper and stuff like this. I find that you can get some really interesting results after you've got all the processing here, and we could just resample that as it, or sample that as it is. I think it's pretty interesting, pretty nice sound. Okay, cool. So let's just open these up a bit. Just gonna have a look at the processing on this snare a bit, actually, and just gain stage it a bit. So I'm just... So why is that? That's before, that's with no processing on it. I probably won't do the gain now, I'll just boost the gain on the clipper. I find the clipper's good on snares like this, where they're very transient. There's a lot of headroom between, or a lot of room between the peak and the RMS. Another thing I've really been enjoying, and I'll just go apply this now, which is side chaining the shuffles with the kick and the snare, and this gives us more options for when we're resampling. So I'll do that. I like to use the GM Audio Ducker. I find this is really good, really tight. You can get some really interesting results by varying the hold and the release. So I'll just find our kick and the snare. That's fine, yeah, the kick. And I'll duplicate this now. And this is going to go from the snare, yeah. And then you can get some more you get all these really, really interesting patterns then. Or kind of embellishments or interest from the fact you're just ducking. You could also increase the hold or the release. And just change the feel of the break and stuff. Or the shuffle even. you know, just from very subtle controls and or differences. Yeah, it's a good point, Mr. Grooves. You can't, like, I have thought about gating and doing like inverse gating. I guess that's the thing, isn't it? If you do that, should we try that? We'll try that. I'm gonna add that to my notes. Docker is quite precise as like sidechain things go. Inverse gating. That's what you mean, isn't it? By but this just gives me like lots of scope to explore lots of different kind of timbres from just one loop or one set of source material. I mean, one thing we could try is putting snapback on that kick, but like that's the kind of thing I might just leave, and when I come back to revisit the the things I've made, then I can make a call on like, has it got low end? Do I like the kick? Is the kick too flabby or whatever? Yeah, there are indeed many ways to skin the proverbial breakbeat cat. And this is the fun of like doing these things, is that you can kind of, when you really like zone in on something like this, you can. It's good to have a review of all the ways you like to do things, and have an audit of like your process and everything, and you always learn something new doing that. Okay, so I think we're like game wise we're probably fine. This is back to the bus now. And that's with that re-enveloper on here. You could get similar results probably with the Oxford Evolution, which is like a transient shaper essentially. Nice. You know, you could probably push it. You could push it. Bring that. And like blend that in. I'll do the same with the re-enveloper, which is a Max for Live device. It comes with creative extensions, I think. You can hear you've got like the sends going on here to the return channel, so you do get that's why I often want to put it on the master channel. Okay, like so far, so you know, nothing special particularly when you do that, but like if you start to distort it or something, you can get some really interesting results. I do quite like the drive. It just gives you more control. You might want something really tight, you know. It's just like you can pull out lots of interesting tones and stuff that you wouldn't get otherwise. It's So this is like a difference between expansion and compression, multi-band. Interesting. Yeah, we'll come on to that, Mr. Grooves, using like automation, particularly on the snares. I've been doing that. Stuff like that, it could be interesting. Or even the danger is that you end up just like losing what you've got because you've over processed it. I really like, and you could do like further. We could do further EQ on it and stuff, but. I probably wouldn't bother on this. What I do really like is the don't know why I've got this in that order, to be honest. I'll probably compress it using like the Shadow Hills master compressor. But I'd just like to use try loads of different weird and wonderful processing, really. Do like this discrete one too. And then just like blend the two together. Probably too much, to be honest, but like. Very nice. He just lands. Oh no, like I definitely felt the like Shadow this particularly. So I think I understand it now after a long time that you can do. You've got an optical compressor and a discrete compressor, and you have that dual mono. So why you want to do that is beyond my knowledge, to be honest. And then obviously you got like the optical section here that you can choose to have on or off. I'd probably leave it off, and then the discrete section as well, which is more like the compressor, the compression controls that we're used to seeing, rather than just the two knobs of an optical. And then you can adjust the I believe the metering, depending on which compressor you're using, and you can bypass each of them. And you can check, it's got like these modes as well, which are almost like character. But yeah, it is super daunting. I guess I just like the sound of it as like a bus compressor. Usually I go for quite, I don't push too hard on anything. So like, let's say the discrete compressor, it's not even really doing very much, but we could push it a bit harder. Just bring the threshold down. And then I kind of just do like New York compression settings, parallel compression, attack really high, release really quick. And the ratio is quite low. And then I gain compensate. And then I usually just blend it back in 10 to 20%. That's kind of how I like to compress things on like on the drums. Sometimes the master. I've also got the black box on this distortion, which I really do like the sound of. Yeah, it's sick actually. Like all of these ones, right? I got they're all free. They're all free just from like I've grabbed them whenever they've been doing like a free deal, and I'd lost it after the Shadow Hills for a while, just as like a master compressor, and also the black box as well. But I think that it was some crazy deal like Brainworks or Plugin Alliance were doing, so I just grabbed it. I really like this. This can really alter like the feel of things. Sorry, I just turned the re-enveloper on, but you get the idea. But I think we're already on the way to like getting something that's quite liquidy, or it certainly could be. Love it. And yeah, let's tweak some controls on the black box. So it's got these like two distortion tubes. I'm not an expert on this plugin, but like I usually just like, they seem to give like different timbres or accentuate different parts. Amp is a brilliant plugin, yeah. In fact, we should do some stuff with this. It's I suppose you never know what you're going to reach out the box for. Do you know what I mean? Like in your arsenal at any one time, and part of me wanted to do there's the experimentation side and the warpy side of this, but then also I just really like, sometimes I listen to like break samples that I've got from say modern D&B packs, and I think like how did they make that, or like it sounds so clean and so like precise, and that's something I've kind of wanted to explore. Like can I get that, and how much can I engineer things, or you know, by experimentation, how far can I push things? And after a while you lose objectivity. So you have to be careful of the gain on these things, obviously, and I'll keep an eye on them, what you're hearing. So just turn that down a bit. I quite like using the frequency, this frequency chicken head switch. This doesn't do anything unless this is on. And then I just dial that in really slow. It's like mastering a bit, you know. Pretty nice. Probably over processed, to be honest, but Mr. Grooves, you're a star. Hey Ian. While a pentode is a complex so what's that? A diode is a simple two-terminal device, cathode, anode for one-way current flow, while a pentode is a complex 5-electrode cathode control grid, screen grid, suppressor grid, anode, vacuum tube, primarily used for high-gain amplification, offering more control and power versus diode. So you think it's is it just like a finesse thing? Is it just a choice thing? Like, and obviously you've got the tal on here. I usually just pull it back until I can't really hear it anymore, or I'm just kind of like can perceive it subtly. Another thing I got free recently, don't know if anyone else picked anything up from this, was the hopefully I got a new. Yeah, the UAD oxide tape recorder. I keep meaning to add this to the chain, but this is really great. It just kind of it does like soften the transients a bit. I think it sounds great. Yeah, very impressive that is. Yeah. Really like what it does to drums. Got the towel, you can mess around with this as well. I guess my thought on like you could even put that at the end, which would be at the end of the chain. Where's the dry? Interesting. All right. Diver on here. Yeah, I do love the sound. I do love the sound of what it does to drums, this. Diver, thank you, yeah. I usually just go through the plugins. Because we could have that as an option to like to destroy things a bit, couldn't we? Okay, so we've got the second version of it here. What I'm going to do now is to just do some send automation, and then we will start committing to recording it. Pretty cool, pretty gnarly. But yeah. That'd be an interesting thing to try, like opening. All these options just from this re-enveloper. I love this. I've used this the most probably out of anything, to be honest. Mr. Grooves. It does. Ableton has like power 1, power 2, and then something else. Okay, these various ones, rectangular, triangular. I think I usually use one. Have you seen the Mr. Bill video where he just like exports silence and then normalizes it, and you can hear the noise where the noise becomes audible that is added during Diver. It's a pretty interesting video. And that is why I do power 1, because Mr. Bill did it in that video. So I like this reverb. What is it? This one, or is it the? What can be quite cool is to like do accents here. That's pretty cool. Might add some further variations as well to like just the loop itself. Like lower the. Just put in the. A bit higher. Yeah, okay, I want to add some more like ghost notes. Nice. I've just combined those all as one, just adding in some further variation. That one. Have it really low velocity. We've still got the ducking on. And that's like without the transient shaper on, so. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Let's duplicate that. Mr. Grooves, yeah, I love that like that rectifier sound. Mesa Boogie triple rectifier. That was what everyone wanted when I was like for new metal and stuff. So many options here. So many options. So we'll just start resampling this. I think I'll duplicate this time. You see, all from just this one break. The option as well is that you could just further manipulate this what you record in and sample. That's a pretty nice like rolling thing, isn't it? Right, I've got to make some decisions shortly about what we're going to do, and that's Okay, lovely. I think that's totally fine. We've got the option to take like this on and off. That sounds pretty good without the talon, doesn't it? Also sounds interesting with it on, and then with... They all give like really different flavours. Right, I'll show you how to do this then. So that's kind of the sample happening. And now I'm going to like show you my process. So I use Twisted Wave, which is sampling my desktop audio. And we're just going to sample loads of the breaks and then we'll chop them up after into like nice 16 bar loops. I think that's what I'm doing here anyway. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 16 bar. Okay, nice. That's a good idea about snapshots, but I think you have to have macro mapped things mapped. What you could do is duplicate them and have them as 3 different chains. But it's okay. That's kind of like the risk of experimenting, isn't it? The inherent risk of doing all this stuff. So we've got that right, and I'm just going to pull this loop brace here so that there's a bit of space, dead air after this, as I've learned. Like, just another thing is like how long you sample things for, and then how you tidy them up, and how, you know, all that is going to end up being useful to someone else. So, you know, just record this now. That's rolling, right? And you're going to see this happen. Yeah, good point. I could do that. Very nice. And there's variation throughout the sample as well. So I'll just stop that rolling. That stopped rolling as well. And now we'll change some stuff. Yeah, so it was nice doing these like ducked audio bits. I was quite into those. But should we just manipulate stuff on the master before we do that? So like if we pull that down, I think that's great. We should record that as well. So now I can start this recording again, not from there, from further on down, right, and just roll the recorder, and that's rolling along here, and that's just going to keep going. I did use the rolling sampler for a while, but this is a lot better. So I'll record this. So that go to 0. That again. One thing I would say is like coming up with a process for doing all of this stuff, and like what we're discussing in the chat at the moment is like, what order do we do things in, and should I really be resequencing before I start resampling and then I switch controls, or I switch plugins, or switch settings. And the order in which you do things obviously makes a difference, because, you know, you might change something and then lose it. And I think like what you're saying, Mr. Grooves, about having some way to preserve it would be cool. And maybe that's something to be built in something I need to think about a bit more, or something that will reveal itself as being particularly important through doing this. And that, like, there's a lot of stuff that I've picked up through just going through the process of this, like reflecting on what I've done and everything like that. Okay, so time is 9 o'clock and we've sampled 2 breaks so far. That's not bad in an hour, considering all the processing we've done here and stuff like that. So okay, that's another rolling break there. I guess my just coming back to that quickly was like, if I reorder the groove and come up with a different break here, am I gonna? I'm not gonna remember all the order that I've done all this processing and turn things on and off. So it would have been good to do that beforehand. I like this one as well. We haven't done this yet. So again, we'll just press record. Yeah, that's rolling. Very nice. Stop that. No, you could even try turning off certain bits in this. But we'll not do that for now. We'll just go back to our side chain in here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's roll with that, yeah. Okay, so just make sure we're right. Let's record. This software is Twisted Wave, and it's been loved it, love it. Very nice. And then could we do something else with this? Or maybe we could turn the snare off. You almost get like this sucking effect. We could turn this on. Interesting. Yeah, let's just dial in again here. From the top. I want to do some. This will send. Yeah. not really worth it, to be honest. Okay, let's just record this. Lovely. Okay, we're going to end up with so many breaks. That's all right. Really love this like tight sound. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Like that. We got any hi-hat? These are all good. These are great. Very nice. Okay. I think we could do more to mutate these, couldn't we? Am I going to do this, or should we? Let's. Yeah, let me think. We could do some different chops here, couldn't we? There. Yeah. Okay, kind of a half-timey fill one. Like that, that's cool. cool. All right, yeah. Get confused here. So we don't need that first little bit, yeah. Where's that happening here? This is confusing me. I want to keep that little accent. That's it, really. And if we duplicate that and then tidy that up a bit. Wonder if we could do something with snapback now. I'm going to create chain and then I use the external instrument. And this. And put snapback on here. Snapback really does, it counts as a sample, so I don't feel 100% good using it, but I think it's okay. I can never remember the manufacturer's names. Who makes snapback? I'll have it here probably. Wait, I'm just going to search it. Music production in action. So this is just on C. I want to use this note actually, which is, what's that? D sharp. E. Yep, thank you. E1. So just change the trigger to be MIDI. And 1. And make that E. Let's see if that feeds it. I just got to turn this on snapback. Why is that not working? Do I have to put it in there, maybe? Okay, that's not right. We should be seeing it here. Okay. In the wrong place. Why don't you... Thank you, Mr. Grooves. Cable guys, I can never remember. They make the other one, don't they, that people like? The LFO one. What am I not doing right here? MIDI to snare. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. That's on here. Yeah. You can see that one. Oh, I know why. I haven't got any MIDI there. That's why. And let's have it on C1, but I don't want the kick to always be doing this. So I think if I mute this, right, if I mute that, then I can have it as like a silent trigger. Just turn snap back off in here. Yeah, it's like a silent trigger. I don't want that. Something weird. That's pretty cool. Just isolate that. Quite clicky, isn't it? It's quite interesting too. Cool. I'd love it if you could pull the sample down, not just have to use decay. You know. I want something weird. No one wants that in a sample. Which one did I have? Thump 1. That was just gonna. It's gonna get in the way of stuff, isn't it? That. That's pretty cool. I like that. louder. What else we got? Ooh, sample that one. Nice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty tough. Just do some. Snapback is great for this type of thing, just for like scrolling through different layers. It's good. I'll just add some more variation here. Let's go do like a double here. One that's really short. Let's do some automation on that. That sounded pretty interesting. You could do something nice here. Let's get rid of this shuffle. Like. don't like that actually. Or not there at least. Nice. There. Nice. Then maybe like a different thing here. Texture is another one that people have mentioned to me, yeah. That could be cool. Did like a nice little ramp there. Could work. That's like the Tal 4 Evo, which I think is free. Very nice, isn't it? Have that a bit lower. I really like that, to be honest. What's that like? This is getting a bit extreme now, but Give me the pencil, man. Right, we'll resample that. Drive it. Lovely. No, not into that on that. Cool. You could easily just use the demo and just like resample stuff then, because I rarely use more than one instance. Sometimes I do, but it gets it's quite high latency sometimes the more you add. Right, let's go. Interesting. So what's on there? I feel like for this you want it a bit heavier, don't you really? Cool. Just, is there anything we can do to these hats? At this point, I'm usually like, I've probably exhausted everything I can. Reverbs do a lot. Let's just change one of the reverb. Interesting. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Grooves. Thank you. Awesome. So we didn't get on to what I'll do now is just like process these and tidy them up, and I'll show you guys. That's good to hear. If it sounded good through the internet to your computers at home, then we're on to a winner. So we got a lot of breaks out of that. I'll just play this one as well. This Squib Cakes one. I was doing a little bit of a shuffle with this one. I thought this would be ideal. I can clear this up. I mean, by comparison, it sounds weak now. What I like to do is like have these shuffles in, you know. We could even do that with, you know, what we've done this evening. Here. And that'd be a way to like step it up a bit. It's quite a good D&B break, that one, really. I don't feel like we've mutated these too heavily. To be honest, we did that on the last stream I did, like the break stream I did. But I'm going to show you how I process these now. So we've got all the breaks we've sampled tonight. We've got like eight more breaks, and whatever doesn't make it into the pack, I'm just going to share on Patreon anyway. So, okay, and now I'm going to hit Command Option N. That does a new file for me, right? And now it's a bit of a rinse and repeat type thing. But in Twisted Wave, I'm going to trim silences. I've got this set to minus 90 dB. Apply that. And then I'm just going to normalize this to minus 3 dB. Gives me a bit of headroom if... Did that work? Yep, that did. not bad. It's sounding pretty legit, to be honest. So now we've done that, we want to hit Command E, and I'm exporting it to my Humans Effects sampling folder. So I don't even know what breaks made it into this one, Mutant 10. We had some snapback, so it could be Wonder Break. Should we call it that? That's nice and memorable, isn't it? So I'm kind of following this file format to create all of these samples. Wonder Break 170, then it's Mutant Breaks reverse date, it's the 14th Jan, and 0.1, because we're going to be doing a few more of these. Okay, and these goes into my HS sampling folder, and then if I go to Audio Finder, which is how I'm kind of tracking all of my playlists of samples and so forth, if I go to my HS sampling folder, it will then appear here. Great. Okay, and like that, and we'll carry on for now, and I'll just finish all of these up. So we've got Untitled 1. Let's speed things up a bit, and I'll show you the process in real time. So just going to highlight that. Command Option N. Edit. Trim silences. Apply. And we normalize it. Apply. Command E. Going as 0.2, yeah? Awesome. Out it comes. We can just close this, and you could delete it, but I'll keep it open for now, just in case. I like this one. It's a bit louder for whatever reason, but it's fine because it goes through the normal. Everything gets normalized, and as long as like the peaks are, nothing's too unruly in terms of like what's peaking, the peak volume versus the RMS, then it should be fine. So edit, trim silences, apply, effect, not amplify. I want to normalize. I really love Twisted Wave. It is gonna change the way that I kind of sample and organize things. I'm certain of it. It's so easy to use. It's like one of the best programs I've ever used, actually, I think, with sound. Just very snappy. It's very easy to do things in. Command N. Trim silences. Normalize. Okay, export. I'm sure you could set up a batch operation for this, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. Yeah, I'd say there is. So Mr. Grooves has asked a good question. Is there an advantage to doing this way versus just using resampling tracking live? Yeah. So I think there is, in that it's the trim silences feature is just so I can set this one file rolling recording, and it will just start and stop, continuously. It doesn't matter where I am in the live project. And then obviously it keeps all the audio that I can then just separate out easily, and like being able to trim silences without actually having to do the faffing of zooming in and like separating them all out, and then being able to normalize them separately is just so much quicker than doing it live. And then being able to easily individually export them is just, I think the workflow in live is just slower, for sure. And another thing you can do, I believe you could do this automatically, where you just could remove the silences in here and split the tracks by like markers that you add in. But this is by far the quickest way for me. This is just it's a lot quicker than doing it in live, in my experience so far. being able to just run these operations. You know, you could probably do, it's the tidying up, it's the beginning it and having to zoom in and like, if I got that right on the thing, if I got that right on the transient, or not cutting it off or whatever. Yeah, so it just saves seconds, right? Or saves, you know, tens of seconds, which adds up when you're doing like loads of these. It's just such a grind separating them all in live. And another thing is that you can just, so you can resample essentially, and then I can, let me just finish doing these and I'll show you what I mean. But I'm just going to export that. So export that. Trim silences. Being able to trim silences, right? You can't do that in Ableton. And then normalize it. Again, you can do that, but it's the trimming silences that would take me about at least 30 seconds to a minute to line it up nicely from the bigger file. So I just feel like I have more confidence and less pressure when I'm sampling, that I need to like be conscious of how I'm going to separate it afterwards. Okay. Apply that. Trim silences, normalize, and being able to tweak all of this stuff is this is brilliant. Like I can change the normalization level, and yeah, just the settings are much deeper than live. And then when I've done that, I could save this entire take of audio. I'll show you what I mean. So say you've just resampled a synth or something, and you just recorded it into Twisted Wave or some other kind of audio editor. I could then save this. I could save it in my sampling thing, and I could call it like HS Breaks session, or like even just the way I do my reverse ordering 014. Yeah, break session. And then in here, in my sampling, it should save it. Yeah. So I've then got the full take of audio as well in Audio Finder. So theoretically, say I had like a sound design session, I was just playing a synth or like playing something in and manipulating things heavily and just recording the whole thing, having that running in the background. Then I could you can open from Audio Finder, which is just like an sample asset management library, and you can open it back and then split it up afterwards. So I don't even have to worry about having to do anything with the recording right now, and I know I can save it and catalog it a lot quicker than I could do in live. Then I would see it, you know, I have these like sampling sessions and then I forget what project it was in, and having a central depository where everything is kind of funnels in through, it's a lot easier for me to keep track of like of samples I'm working with. Okay, so I've got, of course, got all these windows open, right? So it's a bit of a pain that you have to like go through and do this, but that's okay. It's worth it. You could just do this afterwards, to be honest. If I could work out a way to do it from the one file without having to split it up, that would be quicker as well. But this is the reality of like making a sample pack or something. It's like you need these tools to be able to make the process efficient and pleasurable, pleasant, because otherwise it's just a real grind and you just don't want to do it. Okay. So now we have all of the breaks that we've worked on this evening in this Wonder break, and I can go through and I'm going to drag them into my Mutant Breaks playlist in Audio Finder. And I have all of them here now. And I can catalogue all of these. That was something else I worked on the other day. I can tag these up with break and Humans Effects. I won't. Audio Finder's really good. I'm really enjoying that as well. But I would definitely watch some of George's very first videos on it because he goes into real depth on how to use it, and that's. But yeah, that's what I really like, that workflow of knowing I can just record a swathe of audio and come back easily to chop it up or find bits I like and get them out. It's just so much harder to do that inside of live. Or there's just way more friction, and I just find that I never end up doing it. I never end up chopping the sample up. Where we had that session the other day with the ambient session, and I've got that in here. You know, I've got the ambient take or from that live stream, and I can see it in Audio Finder. You know. And of course I could drag that over into live, just that little bit. But I could also open it in Twisted Wave and then be able to just export or deal with this section. Maybe I could pull that into Ableton or save it as its own sample to work with. And all of that stuff's just it feels a lot quicker in this ecosystem than doing it within live. So that is why I'm a fan of Twisted Wave at the moment. But yeah, we've got all these breaks now. So, and we've got them organised and catalogued. So I can give it a rest overnight and then go back and listen to what we've made and be like, that's really good. And I can give it a 5-star rating. Someone made the other day. Interesting. So all in all, a pretty good system. How many breaks are in this? 62 breaks. It's pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Just need to keep going. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up there now, folks. That's quite intense. It's quite intense doing stuff like that because can be more fatiguing on the ears, obviously, than just making music when you're listening to like really transient, really punchy drums constantly on loop. It does fatigue my ears. So I have to just make sure to take regular breaks when you're doing stuff like this. I think we had some good stuff there. It sounds great with that shaker in. I should add that in. And that's part something I really want to do with the finished article, is have some way that people can use a set or some sort of rack that they can build their own custom, custom breaks and stuff easily. They can do this easily because they've, just taken the one shots almost. And have some sort of rack where they can scroll through sounds. That'd be really cool. That's something I've had in my mind. Whether or not I can realise that, we'll see. Oh, Mr. Grooves, thank you very much. Yeah, me too. I feel you never know what you're going to get out of stuff like this. Even if I have a plan in mind as to what I want to do and what I want to show, I can't always guarantee the results. And that is, I feel we had some happy accidents and some good stuff happened. So big shout outs and supporters. If you're interested in all that stuff, you can find links wherever you're watching this. Really appreciate all your support on there, and I will be back next week. More, not of the same, but we'll see what happens then. Yep. Cheers, Mr. Grooves. See you all next week. Have a good rest of the week. Hope you find time to make some music, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.